our topic is Playback Theater as a healing instrument. Welcome to AB Lifetime, channel on mental health. And I am here on original Moreno stage with Judy Swallow. Hello, Judy.
Hey, hello, Anna.
How it's technically you decide who is playing what?
Very often the teller will say, oh, pick somebody to be you, pick somebody to be your sister, pick somebody to be your dog, pick somebody to be, and then they tell the story, and the conductor says, let's watch.
You ready?
Playing back their story, and then people learn to work together too. And so that is such a benefit for people in our lonely world to be creative together, to hear each other, to respect each other's truth, right? If that happened in the whole world, we'd be a much better place.
What is the tradition? The actors is usually one group of people. It's the same people who are coming and they know the technique. They learn the technique.
Yes. In our company, Community Playback Theater, yes, we've been together for many, many years, over 30 years. We're getting old together, but it never gets boring because
it's each time different stories.
Right.
Oh my God.
It's always new. We're always stretching our capabilities and yeah.
Is it like special technique for example, is it the same kind of education as regular actors, or how these people learn how to act this? Because you are acting right away, right?
Yes,
I remember from last performance, I think you have 1 minute to somehow send the signals to each other, and
we don't talk.
Right.
We don't talk. We
just
maybe
send
our signals.
Right.
But inside, we look like we're doing. But inside, we say, "What is my name? What am I? What is the story?"
I understand that if you spend over 20 years together, you kind of already get the idea who is going to do something, because you are already you were working together.
We know each other's styles, right?
Right.
Yeah.
For example, how it's technically you decide who is playing what,
Well, in a scene, then very often the teller will say, oh, pick somebody to be you, pick somebody to be your sister, pick somebody to be your dog, pick somebody to be, and then they tell the story, and the conductor says, let's watch, and then the actors do it. So there are some other ways that we experiment with, we just find the roles, but that's true. Our company has been together, but as people are learning it new, I just was in New York City with a group that never met each other before, and after the day, they could do scenes and short forms with each other. It was so
This is magical.
It's magical.
This is magical Playback Theater.
What's your name?
Liz.
Liz, where does your story take place?
In my classroom. I teach 3rd grade.
Third grade?
Yep.
What happens?
Well, it's the story of my last Halloween.
Your last Halloween?
I've been teaching for 31 years. It
than
was Wednesday. Wednesday, this past Halloween.
Oh, we just had one.
It's a story from this week.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm going to retire in June. So everything is my last. My last first day, my last open house, this is my last Halloween. Because I got that idea from a teacher who retired the same year that I started, who used to count how many Halloweens she had left before. Because Halloween in an elementary school classroom it's really something. It's like throwing a Halloween party every single year.
Give me 3 sentences involving the words candy, costume, and 3rd grader.
Okay. From the minute they come in the morning, they ask me, can I wear my costume? Can I wear my mask? Can I hold my weapon? And the answer is no, no, no. And then, when are we getting candy? When are we getting candy? When's the candy? When's the party? When's the candy?
Wow. What's the answer to that?
Later. So I have to say, though, that I think I finally got Halloween right.
How? How did you do that?
I learned from another teacher who used to come in the classroom and do things that I should be teaching everything only 5 to 10 minutes.
Choose
everything
someone,
over every 5 to 10
choose
minutes.
someone to be the other teacher.
Oh, the other teacher?
The other teacher.
Okay, so she's the Spanish teacher.
Choose the Spanish teacher.
Okay, Judy. And can you remind me of the other name?
And choose someone to be you.
Okay. Tony.
What's a word for the Spanish teacher? Her nature, her...
Flamboyant.
Flamboyant. And what name do you call her?
We call her maestra.
Maestra is flamboyant. And a word for how you are in this whole day of your last Halloween.
I am on it. Just on it. I am on it this Halloween.
So
turning over the activities every
really,
5 minutes.
My God.
Every 5 minutes,
every 5
another
minutes.
activity.
Yes.
Gummy bear tasting, write a story, Mad Libs, video, exactly how to pass out the treats. I have 5 different allergies and how to figure out who gets what treat based on what allergy.
It sounds...
I got allergy-free, I got chocolates that were allergy-free for every human being that ever existed with an allergy.
It sounds masterful.
So, and the video too was like for 30 years, I could never project a movie without getting so frustrated because the sun was coming through the windows and they can't really see the movie. So I would think, how am I going to do it? How am I going to do it? How am I going to... every year I try something different and it takes forever to get the windows darkened so the movie can be just right with the snack and the movie at the same time.
Did you actually master it this year?
I
What did you do? What did you do?
I went to the dollar store and I bought these the things that kids use for these projects that they always do.
Oh, right, the unfolding cardboard thingers.
And they had black unfolding
cardboard.
cardboard.
Oh, wonderful.
So I finally get them. They got the treats. They've done the gummy bear. They've done everything. It's like boom, boom, boom,
now,
boom, boom, boom.
If you were to fast forward and get to the end of the day, what was the sum? What was the summation?
Okay, so here's the summation. So I am putting my what do we call those things? Those little project unfolder things. Project unfolder things. I'm sliding them in, and the room is darkening, and it's really quiet, and I hear the kids going, oh, "Room on the Broom, that's my favorite video." And I'm putting the last one in, and I start to cry. Because it's so sweet. That's my last one. And I finally got it right.
And it was a favorite. Okay. Boy, there are some other people up there, and they look awfully young.
Yes, they do. They do. They were sitting, so I got the tables just right, too, because I did 2 long tables. So it was almost like everyone was welcome at a table, and they were all at tables, and they all had their treats in front of them, and they were eating their treats and watching this movie, and...
Room on a Broom.
Room on the Broom.
Beautiful organization. Liz, watch your final year's triumphant Halloween.
Has been 30 years of trial and error and trial and error. I remember the first year that they even had invented Gummy Bears. Liz, it's fun. Be fun with the kids. Besides, fast. They eat fast. They Yeah, just like this. Yeah, fast. Yeah, fast. I got it. Okay, yeah.
You, I don't want to miss you.
Well, I'm not going yet, but.
No, you can do it.
Okay.
Go for it.
All right.
You can do it.
Right.
Yes.
I'm no good. Oh my God! Good morning. Okay. All right, kids.
Can I have this in the class?
No. Can I wear my mask, sweetie? Okay. No.
Where's my weapon? He took my weapon. Come on,
My
let's
weapon.
sit down. Let's
This
sit
is mine.
down. Let's sit down.
Now. You are so lucky because today is Halloween, and you are I am at the pinnacle of my game.
Can we?
I know you don't understand this,
When is the
but
party?
I do.
When's the party?
They can't eat.
Well, is it candy?
There's
Is it the party time yet?
It's not the party time yet. What was your question?
candy.
Oh,
There was candy.
candy and party, they're kind of the same thing.
And a video?
No, look, yes, we're gonna have a video. We're gonna have everything. But first, we're gonna have some activities. So here's your first activity. All right, are you ready?
Yeah.
Goes like this. Okay, now we're gonna do something else. Next activity. Are you ready? Whoa! Okay, now we're gonna go on to something else.
I'm glad I didn't eat the candy first.
Ready? Okay. Food. Now.
I can't have
Empties.
nuts. I can't have nuts.
I know. I have found the perfect Halloween feast for all of us.
I can't have shrimp either.
I know that. Yes,
No, I can't have that.
I know. Here, I go non-allergenic.
No, you can't have eggs.
Oh, yeah.
No eggs.
Not even chocolate eggs at Easter.
I can't too. Okay, there's no eggs. There's no eggs. No, nothing.
We can
No,
all
don't.
eat
And
this.
this is your snack.
Wow.
And now we will remove the blessed triptychs that are going to allow us to put the film, finally, after all these years. You're going to be able to see this video, children. I know you don't understand this, but it is really, really something. Okay? Here we go. And what's the name of our video? What's the name?
That's my favorite.
I
love that.
That's great.
Thank you, Mrs. Liz.
Could you please tell a little more about what is the value of Playback Theater, what it does for people?
Okay, well, there are two things I'm thinking of. One is the workshop I was just talking about a few minutes ago about strangers coming together and, you know, learning, warming up, learning to get to know each other, learning some of the playback forms. You learn the forms by hearing each other's stories, right? And hearing each other's stories, and it's an act of generosity to hear someone's story and put your whole body and voice and everything to respond to their story. It's very different from listening, you know?
Yeah.
And playing back their story. And then people learn to work together too. And so that is such a benefit for people in our lonely world to be creative together, to hear each other, to respect each other's truth, right? If that happened in the whole world, we'd be a much better place. Yeah.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
to have creativity and co-creation is such a healing thing. That's in the workshop.
And for the group and for the teller specifically,
yes.
right?
Yes. So the idea that theater that's as good for the audience, as good for the actors as it is for the audience.
Right.
It is really healing for the actors and healing for the audience. And after all these years of my doing it, I don't know who I would be without being in so many different roles so often. I don't know how I would be or who I would be. Right? Such a wonderful life.
Yeah, I just thought that it would be interesting to have some research on the playback actors. Do they actually do any personal therapy? Because probably if you are playing each week for 30 years, each week you are playing different roles. You probably, of, I don't know, angry mother or bad father or I don't know, or good friend. You probably don't need therapy afterwards.
Right.
It's actual
to
therapy.
be a gorilla in the zoo. What does that feel like?
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
You know, or to be a little child, or...
And at the same time, if to be the regular storyteller at Playback Theater, it's very therapeutic.
Yes.
Too.
Yes.
Just it means that it's actually a therapy session because you are...
Well, that's a big thing because we'll talk about therapy. Now, that's the question. Is Playback Theater therapy? No, it's theater. But it's theater that can be therapeutic.
Yes, right.
And the good thing, because so many things are told, oh my God. So if a teller is outside the action and can see a horrible thing, like when they were raped on the street, you know, they would tell that story, or they would tell that story about being in an accident, or they would tell a story about seeing their mother dying. In a way, it has some distance, and they can see it. Or a very embarrassing moment. Often it's an embarrassing moment. You know, people's shame and embarrassment, and they would tell it. And they see it, and then they can have some distance, and they can laugh a little bit, or even see, you know, somehow it is therapeutic to tell anything.
Say and then see that,
and
right?
see it played back.
Right.
And say, oh, wow. And the group is with you as you're telling this story. It's like, oh, why did I tell this shameful story? And they all, you know, they can connect with it. It's like, oh, well, it's not so bad after all, you know? Or telling some... You know, someone came in once after having a car accident, and they're shaking like this, and they knew playback enough to sit and tell the story. And the people and the actors could show the feeling that she had, and it helped her because she's not all alone with it. Yeah. So that's the therapeutic ability, you know, telling the story and seeing it play back can be very therapeutic. And it's therapeutic for the audience to see someone human like us.
Right here.
Right
Here is the
and,
the storyteller.
In our group, afterwards, we have some tea and refreshments afterwards so people can keep telling stories to each other.
Like processing, like sharing, right?
Sharing. Oh, it's all sharing.
Oh my God.
Freddie, hi, what's your two feelings?
I love food, and I love eating, you know, carbs and sugars and rich
We'll take a
foods
break
and
here
things.
and have
Yes, right, exactly. But I don't like feeling bloated and how it makes me feel after I eat it.
Okay, two feelings about eating. I believe this is probably shared by a lot of people.
Self-preservation. A few basic tenets. Don't stuff your face. I love you.
Come to me. Now.
Enough is enough.
More. More, I tell you.
Good.
Oh boy, I can hardly wait. I don't wait.
Speaking of wait,
I don't ever wait.
I've noticed just happening to see in the mirror and other
Don't even
observations
look
that
in the mirror because the food is
wait,
right in front of you.
No, wait is an issue. Just a little more. Just a little more. Just a little more.
You look kind of like an apple. Apples are good. Not so much the carbs.